Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. So we're going to discuss today the cancellation of Antoine Griezmann, who was supposed to be an associate sponsorship for the Konami TCG. For anyone who isn't aware, this guy is a French footballer, so he's got his presence, he's got his social media. The point is you're going to have some combination work between them and Konami itself, and the idea was he was going to build his own specially designed card to help entice new players into the game. The purpose of that was obviously because he's got a big sporting brand behind him, he plays football, he has his whole French audience who, if they can see he's got any interest within Yu-Gi-Oh, might actually end up going into that. It says here as well, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. Konami Digital Entertainment believes, as is the philosophy of sports, that discrimination of any kind is unacceptable. Previously, we have had announced Antoine Griezmann as our Yu-Gi-Oh content ambassador. However, in light of recent events, we have decided to cancel the contract. With regard to our eFootball PES franchise, we will be requesting FC Barcelona as a club partner to explain the details of this case and its future actions. Now, from what I was aware, there was an incident that happened a couple of years ago in Japan where they were in a hotel and they were making fun of some of their hosts who were Japanese and how they spoke and how their mannerisms were. Now, we can't confirm or deny whether he was involved, but it was safe to assume that he did have some play in that, either encouraging them or smiling or something that actually worked against everyone else. And obviously, just by association, that's kind of why he was cancelled. The other reason as well is you've got to consider the backlash associated with being attached to anyone by that name. If you are assumed to be part of the problem, you then get mixed into it and it's just a nasty place to be in. It's advisable not to get to that stage. So that's why Konami pulled out. It's concerning for the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Simply because this was an exercise to try and entice more people into the game, obviously with coronavirus. This has meant lots of people have been out the game physically. I mean, they are coming back with the US recently, and I think European Union as well has confirmed that they are looking at things they can do where they can actually have physical tournaments now. But we're still waiting for the rest of the world to make up their decisions, and none of this is concrete. I mean, if anything happens, if new variants emerge, they can go back into versions of lockdown, and that can go into cancellation again. It mentions here as part of an article I found that there's also a video that shows the pair apparently mocking two Japanese technicians as they try to fix the television in the football player's hotel room. As a result of the video going public, Konami announced its decision to unilaterally terminate its contract with Griezmann. The company said in a statement, Konami Digital Entertainment feels, as is the philosophy of sports, that discrimination of any nature is unacceptable. We announced that Antoine Griezmann was becoming our Yu-Gi-Oh content ambassador, but in light of recent events, we have decided to cancel the contract. In terms of our eFootball PES franchise, we asked that FC Barcelona as a partner club explains the details of this matter and its intended future actions. Barcelona and Konami became partners in 2016, with the La Liga side exclusively appearing in Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer video game series. Barcelona's main shirt sponsor and its global innovation and entertainment partner, Rakuten, have also asked the La Liga club to explain the controversial videos from the 2019 tour to Japan. Hiroshi Mikitani, the chief executive of the Japanese e-commerce giant, said, "Since Rakuten has endorsed Barca's philosophy and sponsored the club, such statements are unacceptable under any circumstances." In November last year, Barcelona extended their shirt sponsorship deal with Rakuten for the 2021 to 2022 season. The existing contract, worth €55 million or $64.8 million annually and signed in 2016, was due to expire at the end of the current La Liga campaign, but Barcelona exercised an option included in the original agreement to add another year to the deal. Both Griezmann and Dembele are said to have issued apologies on social media, though many fans have criticised them for their original comments. This is a bit of a start warning for anyone who's trying to do this, that you are going to get caught, unfortunately, with the world of cameras on phones these days and how easily everything's accessible through social media. It becomes global within seconds, if not days, of an event happening. I know this was a couple of years ago, and I'm sure there must have been people out there that were trying to protect him and to hide this content away, but eventually everyone gets to see it. This is the biggest problem that we've got coming coming into the future. And I hope for any young viewers I've got that are currently watching my channel, you kind of learn the lessons of this, because it doesn't matter what state of the world you're actually going into, whether that's politics, whether that's football, whether you're going into gaming or anything like that, or even just a regular job. If you abuse people effectively and your employer happens to see this and it doesn't line up with their brand values, they can unfortunately get you fired. There is a bit of an argument that if it's got nothing to do with them, if you don't have your company logo, or if it hasn't happened anywhere near their offices, then that's grounds for unfair dismissal, which you can take through a court of law. But it is a big deal, you know, going through expensive lawyer fees and maybe a couple of years within courts, and it will end up being very stressful. Better not to post anything like that at all than to end up in this situation. What do you guys think of this? Are you happy to see that Konami has punished these types of people? Or do you think this has been overly harsh, and actually if he just came out with the official apology, that this should be kind of swept under the carpet? My concern going into the future is this is not something Konami has done very well. It's not something that they really go into. They don't have sponsorships and brand deals with individual players or with people in general. And I'm thinking in the future they're going to be very nervous about doing this, and will likely, you know, avoid doing this at all costs. Remember, they've been going with the series for over 20 years, and they're definitely only starting to push this from the point of view that they can see their competitors doing this as well. My concern is just we're not going to get a future to be able to access Konami as readily as we would have been able to in the past, or if this event hadn't happened. My other consideration as well is, what was this new card going to be that Griezmann has made? Is it just going to be the name? Is it going to be the text? Is it going to be the animation? Or is it going to be a bit of everything? And was this going to introduce a whole new set of cards that might have been based off of this, and maybe some further sponsorships with some other players within his team to actually develop its own archetype within that deck? We will never know now. It's unlikely that they will print the card because maybe they're still in development of it. Maybe they don't want the whole issue to have any sort of copyright issues with him because they've cancelled his contract, and maybe it's probably just going to be a wasted design. It's unfortunate because I feel sorry for the designers. They've probably spent some time trying to build it up and build up the hype, and now they're not going to be able to show off their work as well as they wanted to, and potentially any events that were going to be attractive as a result of this signing. Whatever you guys think of this situation, please leave those comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Yu-Gi-Oh content.